Here with Josh Kerr. You said you played a little football in school.
I did, yeah. We played 9-man football, and we were actually back-to-back state champions. We had a pretty good team. We were, like I said, we played. I don't know how many. I think we only played about 9 games a season or something like that, but with the playoffs. But yeah, we actually won the state title 2 years in a row, my junior and senior year, and then I had a little ankle injury and stuff like that, so I didn't really take it on into college much. But I did track and field also as a state champion shot putter. Did that for 4 years, and that was about it.
Did you grow up around music?
Yeah, I actually I started playing guitar when I was about 4 years old. My grandparents owned a little bar in Nensel, Nebraska. It's about 30 miles west of Valentine, Nebraska, on Highway 20, called Dick's Lounge, and they owned that for I want to say close to 50 years, all my life anyway. And there was always somebody, either my dad or my grandpa or uncles or cousins or whoever. There was always somebody picking a guitar, blowing on a mouth harp, and always music around the bar, and that's kind of where my roots came from, and music started in there, and pick up a guitar chord here or there and hear an old song and then start to sing it. And the ironic thing is, all the old songs, I was like, why in the world would you sing that, when the old people would do it when we were a little kid, instead of what we heard on the radio, Now those songs have all really come full circle for me, and I have a great appreciation for the songs, but I didn't at the time. And but that's kind of where my roots came from. My grandparents, like I said, that little bar did wonders for me with music. Taught me about just some of the old songs you hear and memories that people shared. Really helped put a lyric to a melody. So that really kind of cultured me into becoming a songwriter too. So that's where I owe most of it to.
Okay. You started performing when your brother got started seriously, or?
Yeah, I started playing and singing probably about 7 years old, I suppose, and really never got serious. I credit a lot of it to brotherly competition, I guess. There was in Dickinson, North Dakota, they used to have a country western jamboree, they called it, every year. And they had 2 days worth of auditions, and then they picked about 20 or 30 acts for the show. And they did a Friday night show and a Saturday night show. And they had different categories and prizes and such. And my brother entered it, and he ended up winning it. And then he got his picture in the paper, and that's a pretty big deal when you're in a small town, And I was like, man, I could do that. And so I tried to do it, and the goal was to beat him, and that was probably the only goal at the time. And that's really where it came from, this brotherly competition, I guess.
Last June, you released your 5th album.
Yeah, and it was actually it's probably my favorite album that I've put out so far, because it's all of my stuff. It's all songs that I've written, except I did put one track on. A couple members of my band, Jamie Loritz and Dave Murphy, wrote a song called I can't think of the name of it right at the moment. Track number 6, Ain't a Country Song, I think is the correct title for it. It was just a fun little ditty about what happened to old radio and some of the new stuff that's maybe borderline not country anymore. But that was the heart and soul of my writing on that album that we put out. It gives everybody kind of a glimpse into my life and the kind of writer I am. I call myself a real life writer, so I like to live an experience and then tell the story through music. And also when I can't express myself to some people, then I'll put it into a song too. You can tell people without actually telling them things. But we're pretty proud of that. We've been on the road touring with that one, and sharing it with everybody. And yeah, sold quite a few and give out quite a few, and we're actually working on album number 6 right now as we speak. We cut a couple tracks, and I put them up on the website and stuff for people to give them a sample here just a few weeks ago in Nashville. So yeah, we got new stuff coming and writing every day. So
what do you got in mind for 2016?
2016 right now is the big thing was the move, making the transition from the working man again and back into the full-time musician role. And I left my job here about a month ago now, and we've been just doing shows and playing on the road and been doing the stuff, and got the full band back together in Nashville. And we're going to get together when we get back down there around the 19th of this month, and do some rehearsals and start taking them on the road and doing some bigger shows, and just getting back into the swing of being a road musician again, and living life as a musician. Yeah, we're actually we just had a wonderful weekend in Wofford City, North Dakota. We did the "To Hell with Cancer" song that I wrote here at the beginning part of March. That really kind of took a good effect around the world so far, and everybody's really reacting to it. So I actually got to be a part of a big Relay for Life event, the Rugged West Relay for Life in Wofford City, North Dakota. And so we did a show up there, and got to meet some amazing people, hear some great stories, and from survivors to people fighting the cancer as we speak, and all kinds of things. And finish that up, and then we'll be in Wyoming next weekend for the weekend, and then one more show in North Dakota, and then the 17th we're on the road and headed back to Tennessee. So
do you write your own music?
Yes, yep. When we're playing out, you play a lot of covers, just to get to people to dancing, then I swing one of mine in there every now and then. But yeah, I do. I have done most of my own writing by myself, and that's one of the things I'm excited to get back to Nashville for, is being able to co-write. I know some great writers. Arlo Smith is a friend of mine. He wrote a song called Mayberry for Rascal Flatts. I'll be doing some work with him. Trent Tomlinson, Mark McGuinn, Ash Underwood, Bud Lee, just to name a few. Bud Lee's, he wrote Friends Are No Places, so he's got some credentials. And I'm excited just to kind of be a fly on the wall and see how they co-write together, because I'm not really co-writing with anybody, and just kind of see how it works. And I'm excited to collaborate with a lot of those folks and see what comes of it. So
when you look back, when you first started, would you change anything from now?
One major change that I did was when I started writing music, it was weird to me to fathom the thought of somebody else playing the song that I wrote, because when I write, it's an experience I might have had, and it might not be understood coming out of somebody else's mouth, so to speak. That was one of the big things, from first being in Nashville in 2003 to now, that the reason you write a song is because you want everybody to sing your song, and you want as many people to hear it as possible. And that's one of the major things. As far as that, just with music, no, I've had every great experience I've had. I wouldn't change a thing with music. Maybe be a little bit better picker on the guitar, maybe. But
where could people see your music, events, and tour dates?
We can do. I've got a couple different ways. We got ReverbNation.com/Josh Kerr, and that's Kehr. It sounds like Care Bear, but it's spelled Kehr. And then we have our website we just put out last month, JoshKerrMusic.com. Some cool stuff on there. You can connect with us through Facebook, Twitter, all the rest of those things, the social media pages. You can send us an email, connect with us that way, and get on. There's a blog on there I'll start doing here probably while we're on the road, and they can keep in contact. And then there's tour dates and everything on there as well as Reverb. Other than that, Facebook.com / Josh Care Music would be my fan page, and then we've got regular Facebook page too, huh? Zerdy's popping in. And we're going to have a bunch of new stuff coming up. We're in the process of doing, wife and I are trying to get, we're trying to get everything put together as far as merchandise and caps and t-shirts and all kinds of things. And the CDs and stuff, I got a few of the songs that you can buy right on Reverb Nation. We're still kind of transitioning the stuff into iTunes and getting all that. We're going to try to get onto Ghost Tunes as well.
I'm going to turn it over to you if you want to play something.
Sure. We'll play a new one that we're working on in the studio right now. It's called Little White House. Saw her laying on the counter, letter that says you're gone. And I could feel her words burning through that little envelope, saying, baby, I still love you, but I can't do this anymore. So by the time you read this letter, I'll already be out the door. It's like that little white house on the outskirts of town, with the white picket fence that went all the way around. And it's that same old lost love story. As for me, I'm still the loneliest part of this dream. I just sat there on the front porch, holding my head in my hands. What could I have done different? Will I get a second chance? Maybe calling you out last Friday, maybe spend more time at home. I could sit here for hours, but you'd still be gone. It's like our little white house on the outskirts of town, with the white picket fence that went all the way around. And it's that same old lost love story. As for me, I'm still the loneliest part of this dream. It's that same old lost love story. As for me, I'm still the loneliest part of this dream. Something new we're working on.
Thanks for being on the show today.
Hey, no problem. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, maybe we can do it sometime in the future.
You bet. You bet. Let us know anytime.